We need the backstory to this before we go much further.
It is the story. Oh my God. So I'm about to graduate from undergrad, and my cousin in Arkansas tells me, "Oh, so you have the family liver, right? I hear you're going to show up at the family reunion." Yeah, well, I'll drink you under the table. I'm like, "Well, we'll see about that," because I'm an unhealthy, competitive individual. If you say, "Neener, you can't do this," I'll show you what. So for like 2 weeks straight, I would take shots of Jaeger and Fireball and awful, full of alcohol stuff right before going to bed because I couldn't stand it and just like let my body think about it at night while I'm asleep. Sure, that's fine. I'll get over it. And for the most part, I was building up a really strong tolerance to alcohol, and it was great. And also, I only started drinking when I turned 21, so I don't have this like, I know, right? A law-abiding American citizen. What a dummy. So, like, my body's getting used to, like, these punches I'm really throwing at it. And then I show up and, like, right, I'm a noob at drinking. So I'm drinking, like, sweet stuff, like Fireball.
Yeah.
And other crap. And I show up and he's like, "Hey, it's beer 30." And I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening. And he, like, gives me this, like, awful Tecate Light. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with beer? Like, I don't drink beer. I drink the hard stuff or something. I'm talking out my ass. And so I have to drink this beer and I immediately feel bloated. I don't drink beer at this point, and it's just awful. So he's like, "Okay, tonight we're going to go to the bar and we're going to have a great time. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to drink you under the table." I'm like, "Sure, well, we'll see about that." And then something comes up. It doesn't happen. So then he's like, "Okay, well, tomorrow we'll go out. I'll show you then." And then it just, every single day, something comes up and the party always gets delayed. And the entire week, he's basically unknowingly sobering me up by having me drink really, really weak beer for an entire week. And it's the last night I'm in Arkansas. And then he's like, "Okay, to make it up to you, we're going to do a pub crawl, and I'm buying drinks. So we're going to start at, like, effectively an off-brand Chili's with a built-in bar. And we're going to have just a few drinks there. And then we're going to move on to the other bars in town." So I show up and, like, first we start off with a shot of vodka. Then we do a liquid coke.
Start off?
Yeah.
All right.
And then a liquid cocaine, which is one of my most favorite drinks now, which is like 1 part Goldschlager cinnamon, 1 part Rumpelminz peppermint, and 1 part Jaeger, which is black licorice. And to me, that's delicious because my tongue is awful and I like black licorice a lot. Anyhow, the third and final drink was a Texas tea, which is a Long Island with blue curacao in it. And I just remember this glowing, incandescent blue, mystical thing. And I'm already just drunk out of my eyeballs looking at this thing from the 2 drinks I had before. And I'm sipping on this thing, and I put on this most insensitive Southern drawl you could imagine someone not having really any previous exposure to the accent might throw on. And no. I'm just like, thank God hardly anyone was already there at the bar, because I was just like an awful human being. Anyhow, I like it feels like it takes me half an hour to like get through like a centimeter down of this giant pitcher of Long Island iced tea. And I'm trying to like call ex-girlfriends and they're trying to calm me down and I'm just a mess. And then all of a sudden I pound the entire drink down and then my head hits the bar table out because I want to sleep. And then my memory gets fuzzy. I think I was scooped up with my cousin. I remember running like dick first at the truck where he was going to take me home. And then he sets me down on the bed. I remember that. And he turns me on my side, gives me a bucket and says, "Here, you're going to need this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, bye, cousin Chris." The light turns off. He closes the door and he leaves. Then the light turns back on. And then I hear a voice. "You okay, son?" I'm like, "Yeah, Grandma, I'm fine." And I remember I've been sharing a hotel room with my grandmother this entire week, and my cousin just dropped off an extremely inebriated me to be dealt with by my grandmother.
Oh, no.
So, like, I'm so out of it that I can't close my eyes because I'm just a mess. And then she's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, Grandma, I'm fine." And I just can't stop. I can't even close my eyes. I'm really freaking her out. And then she's like, "Okay." And she turns off the lights, and then it felt like 5 minutes later, she turns the lights back on and she's down on the floor doing something, and my eyes are darting around because I'm drunk off my arse. And I look down and I see my grandma's doing like paper mache. And I'm like, Grandma, why are you doing paper mache? This is no time for arts and crafts. It's late.
Oh,
and she's like, no, you threw up all over the floor and I don't want us to get charged by the hotel for cleaning. So I'm cleaning it up.
No.
I'm like, oh no, Grandma. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Grandma. Like, you said that 100 times already and I don't want to hear it one time more. Let's just blame Cousin Chris for this.
Oh no.
And then I had to discover the most painful hangover I'd ever have to feel on an airplane ride back home. While in an airplane, the sounds in airplanes, babies, the dinging sound that they make on the intercom, the engines just whirring back and forth in one ear, rattling in your brain and out the other and back into your brain. It's, God, I was in hell. But like, now because of that, I'm trying to drink these as slow as humanly possible. Because
that's probably for the best.
Because it is for the best. And this blue color brings back so many memories.